Salzburg Airport in the summer of 2004. A vintage commercial airliner built in 1958 is moving cautiously towards the runway. Over 4 years, an international team of mechanics and engineers have worked tirelessly to restore this airplane. After tens of thousands of hours' labor, today's the day when this classic Douglas DC-6 can return to the skies. The team is anxious. Will everything function correctly? During the extremely labor-intensive restoration, the plane was taken to pieces and completely reassembled. The airplane is to become the flagship of the Flying Bulls, a fleet of airplanes belonging to a certain energy drink producer from Austria. This is an unusual airplane with a colorful past. Windhoek, July 2000. Harald Reiter and Ziggy Angerer from the Flying Bulls have come to Namibia with a team of pilots and engineers. Their common purpose? To prepare an old commercial airliner for a journey of a lifetime. 5,000 miles from Windhoek to Salzburg. The aged DC-6 now has a new owner after being used as a tourist airplane in Namibia. Only the finest vintage instruments in the cockpit. The machine seems to be in good condition. It was the next to last DC-6 to roll off the production line. Both crew and plane are expected in Salzburg in 4 days. After some detailed checks and necessary repairs, it's finally time for the pilots and the passengers to witness the rebirth of this child of the 50s. The old Diva rolls onto the runway a little ponderously. A huge amount of muscle power is needed to steer the veteran. This is what makes this old aircraft so charming to the pilots. The plane takes off in Windhoek. There's all kinds of spare parts on board. 5,000 miles of desert, bush, and steppe lay ahead. The route takes them from Namibia to Zimbabwe, 17,000 feet above sea level, at a cruising speed of just over 300 miles per hour. The first stop is Victoria Falls. Tomorrow they'll continue their journey to Entebbe in Uganda, which lies directly on the equator. At this moment, there's a civil war in southern Sudan, which means they need to make a diversion. After stopping to refuel and a night of Egyptian splendor, they set off towards home. After 4 days and 28 hours in the air, the DC-6 reaches its destination, Salzburg. The pilots are proud of what they've achieved.
The aeroplane went without any problem, and it was a very pleasant flight. I feel very privileged that I could have been part of this, and I'm glad that it has found a good home.
But the enthusiasm for the airplane is dampened after the first maintenance. The condition of the plane is worse than expected. A complete restoration is needed.
We're
very lucky that some things were almost at an end. 1 or 2 of the engines, for example, didn't actually break down. After taking a closer look under the panels and the trims, we saw how really necessary a major restoration was. None of those present know what this means in terms of repairs or time. Vintage specialists from England, America, and Alaska are charged with bringing the Diva back to life. This is no easy undertaking. It takes months to find the required professionals until a team can be formed.
When you work with old aeroplanes, it becomes a personal thing. It's a battle. It's not like a modern aircraft, like a modern car. where you can just pick up the phone and order a part, or you throw it away and you buy a new one. It's just irreplaceable. And the work that we're doing to this aeroplane and the level that we're taking it to, I feel certain that in 50 years' time it will be the only aircraft of this kind flying. Just all the other aeroplanes will be scrapped, you know, or in the Mojave Desert, because they're just uneconomical to run. This aircraft will not only be probably the best piston engine aircraft in the world, also when we take it to its VIP level, it will be a one-off.
All basic parts of the plane are checked and replaced where there are signs of corrosion. Approximately 50% of the outer shell of the DC-6 must be replaced. The mechanics work on the component parts of the fuselage by hand. The metal is worked using traditional tools.
You just have to run it till you feel some pressure right on it.
At peak times, dozens of engineers and mechanics are in the hangar. Nasty surprises crop up over and over again.
This is an African wasp's nest. There's hundreds of these all the way through the aircraft.
The electrics are to be brought completely up to date. 40 miles of cable are required. Months of detective work are necessary before all the spare parts can be found. The DC-6's colorful past has taken its toll. In 1958, the old Diva was purchased by Yugoslavian state airline JAT. President Tito had it refitted as a luxury airplane for state visits, here in the former GDR. In 1975, Tito sold the plane to Zambia's head of state, Kaunda. When he got tired of the DC-6, the jet age was gathering pace, even in Africa. He left it to sit on an airport apron. Eventually, it was sold to someone in Namibia.
The red blue jeans, she's the queen of all the teens, Lord. She's the woman that I know. She's the woman.
After a delivery time of more than 1 year, the four 2,500 horsepower double-star engines from the US have arrived, specially adapted to the airplane. In the hangar, the engines are equipped with sensors and wired up to the new onboard computer. Monitors in the cockpit will later be used to show pilots engine performance and temperature data. One of the biggest problems turns out to be finding new disc brakes. A search is carried out worldwide, involving dealers, collectors, and airplane graveyards, until finally a set is found. But the search doesn't stop there. A set of disc brakes will last for just about 400 landings. The DC-6 is prepared for its new paintwork. Various color schemes and liveries are discussed and tested. The DC-6's new paintwork combines the old with the new. More and more functional tests are needed. The plane is jacked up and the undercarriage adjusted. At last, the final preparations before the star engines can be tested. After various test runs, it's time for the four engines to be tested on the airplane. The team is tense. Has everything been connected properly?
There you go, it's off. Response circuit breaker to on. Magnetos check all off. Car flaps positioning. 9, 12.
The first engine starts immediately.
Turning. 3.
After some initial difficulties, the second and third engine run clean.
It's been brilliant. It's mega. It's nice to see it run. It's alive.
However, the fourth engine has unexpected problems with the propeller.
We fitted the propellers over in Hangar 9. We brought the aircraft over here to Hangar 8 and we did our ground runs. Then we found we had a problem develop with an oil leak. So we had to pull the propeller off and change a seal and rebuild the propeller, put it back on the aircraft and carry out some ground runs, and that fixed it, so there was no problem then. That cured the leak.
After 46 years, the second maiden flight is close.
Der Erstflug ist ja in jedem Fall bei jedem Flieger etwas Großartiges. Und beim Fliegen
Any plane's maiden flight is always something special. And after 4 years of restoration, this will be huge for us all. We can't wait. We're all so excited. We admit it. One thing we can say, it's a better plane now than it was when it left the factory in Santa Monica.
Seine Zeit das Werk in Santa Monica verlassen hat.
After 4 years of restoration, the new vintage DC-6 is ready for takeoff. The DC-6 on the runway. An emotional moment for everyone involved.
To Charlie, take first left and go all the way down to the southern end. While we are flying, we are flying. Unbelievable. Traffic. No, we're not going to turn yet. It's been a real pleasure and a privilege to be part of this operation. Drop the gear for a visual inspection. Gear's coming down now. Distinct pleasure today because we're giving a lot of the mechanics who've worked 3.5 long, hard years their first ride on the machine. And I absolutely love the look on their faces. They've worked so hard for so long.
The restoration has been a real feat of strength. Luckily for the Diva, even at her age, she still has admirers.